Hello, and welcome back, family, to Masquerade Monday. My name is Huddy, and tonight we're talking LA by Night. As always, this video is not scripted, and these opinions are all my own, so take what I say with a grain of salt. After the explosive opening of episode 1 and its terrifying stinger, I think we were all expecting that the next episode was going to feature another assault by the Second Inquisition. And as always, LA by Night never disappoints, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Our scene opens at Thorne Productions, Nellie G's new movie studio, where the Blue Baron of Hollywood and her two ghouls, Lavender and Daffodil, are overseeing the new movie being produced, a daring drama based on Nellie's ancestor, Petronella Feliz. I really appreciated this. One of my favorite plot lines was about Nellie's wraith ancestors, Petronella and Don Antonio, and it's really nice to get a little throwback to season 2. Throwbacks are the name of the game in this episode, as we learn that Nellie's former student and sometimes blood doll Diane is working wardrobe on set, as well as mentions of both her ex-boyfriend Juan and Nellie's boy toy Brad. Did I ever tell you my theory that Brad and/or Juan were double agents working for the SI? Maybe in a future video. Daffodil, Lavender, and Nellie head up to her office for a chat. Apparently they are more like ships passing in the night than a coherent team, and it's been a while since they've all been in the same room together. Greg gives Nellie a rundown on her sister Issa, who we also haven't heard about since season 2, who has moved to Orlando and is apparently none the wiser about the ghostly possession she suffered from or who is funding her schooling in Florida. Chelsea, on the other hand, claims that things at home have been too quiet, and it sets her on edge because things just have an off feeling about them. And that's when another familiar voice enters the conversation, the child of Gary Golden, Amalia the Nosferatu, who had been obfuscated in the room for who knows how long. Amalia claims that because the fashion show she and Nellie put on went so well, still sad that that happened off screen, but I digress, that maybe they should do a movie together. Nellie surprisingly agrees to Amalia's request, but unsurprisingly wants information in exchange. Nellie asks about X, and Amalia claims that X is the new Baron of Santa Monica, since no one's seen Therese Vorman since the prince declared a blood hunt on her, and now Jeanette and X are in charge. Amalia also claims that the Asylum, the club owned by Therese and the seat of the barony, has had some weird occurrences going on, so strange that Gary Golden is considering investigating it. I have so many thoughts and concerns about this, but I think I'll save them until and if we actually see what is going on in Santa Monica. Amalia also divulges that Velvet Velour was sneaking around Nellie's new studio the other night, along with the Toreador Edison, a member of the Camarilla Stardusters coterie. As Amalia takes her leave, supposedly, Lavender checks the sign-in sheets and indeed sees Velvet's name, accompanied by a heart with fangs, as well as Edison's name. But she also sees another name, Camille. Eventually, Nellie is called by her personal assistant Angelica, who informs her some police-looking guests, her words, are there, and only one has given a name, Velour. Lavender and Greg immediately begin coordinating security, at least those who are checking in, because some of them mysteriously aren't. But Nellie seems keen to meet these suits head on. Can I just say, I love how well Chelsea and Greg cover all of their bases without even having to strategize together. They work as a well-oiled machine simultaneously, and it's a complete credit to the actors Vince Casso and Elisa Pearl, who are just so damn good at what they do. As the three of them go to meet these strangers, Velour and her two associates seem to clearly know who Nellie and her two ghouls are, and they claim to be representatives of a coalition of organizations, which Greg recognizes immediately to be the language of the Second Inquisition. Of course, when they refer to Nellie as Greg's master, any doubt is erased of who they are. Velour and her associates instruct Nellie, Greg, and Chelsea to follow them, but they do not indicate where. As they begin to leave with these agents, Nellie activates awe and attempts to pull one of them under her sway, but he merely taps his sunglasses and exclaims, "Your evil witch powers don't work on me, so I guess you won't come quietly after all. Have it your way." And that's when all hell breaks loose. Greg immediately jumps into action, restraining one of the agents, while Chelsea readies her collapsible rifle for combat. Nellie tries one final time to get Velour to tell her exactly what it is that they want, but instead Velour holds out her hand and screams, "In the name of God, Avant." The only time I had ever heard that word before, because it is from Old English and even older French, is in Macbeth, and anyone who doesn't know, it simply means go away. Nellie, unable to resist the compulsion, gets pushed back a single pace by a power emanating from this person, the power of true faith. Now, true faith is a power held by the truly devout. With true faith, a brandished cross can have an effect on a vampire or any other creature in the world of darkness, instead of just being an empty symbol of the creed. Faith can come from many different beliefs, many different places, not just, for example, mainstream religions. It is more than just being religious. It's a measure of conviction and a strength of mind and will. Whether or not their beliefs are correct or logical is irrelevant. These people just believe so unwaveringly that their own conviction protects them. As Greg continues to grapple with one of the agents, Chelsea uses her gun to smash the other agent's nose. For her effort, she receives a massively damaging gunshot, taking 2 aggravated damage, a lot even for a ghoul. Nellie throws a knife at Agent Lavoie using unerring aim, but fails her rouse check, and the disgustingly charming voice of Chaz Price whispers in her mind. Now, although the knife strikes true and Nellie grabs the knife already plunged into Agent Lavoie's chest, hoping to maybe damage her further perhaps, Agent Lavoie grips Nellie's hand and it begins to char and smoke and burn as if touched by the deadly sting of sunlight, and Nellie takes 2 aggravated damage herself. Greg fares little better as he successfully chokes out this agent, but takes a gunshot wound, causing 3 aggravated damage. Chelsea too takes down her agent with a rifle shot at close range, but not before taking another 2 aggravated damage from a second gunshot wound. Nellie then ends the life of Agent Lavoie, swiping a second dagger across her throat. The danger is not over yet, because more activity can be heard outside. With the building surrounded, Greg and Chelsea bleeding out rapidly, Amalia steps out of the darkness and leads them out of the building through a janitorial closet, kicking out the back wall to reveal an entrance to a utility tunnel and likely a sewer connection. The vignette plays and we see that earlier that same night, Jasper and Eva met in secret, declaring their love for each other and vaguely discussing Eva's plans, her reasoning for returning to Strauss and Katya. She asks to feed off of Jasper in order to help her affliction, and by that I mean her red eyes. It doesn't help her condition, but Eva claims it helps her in other ways. If you haven't already, please go follow the World of Darkness Twitch channel, subscribe to them on YouTube, and if you can, sub to their channel on Twitch. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to me as well, and let me know your thoughts on Episode 2, Another Broken Heart, in the comments. As always, I'll see you in the next one.